Let's talk about Byton. This is the car company that this time last year nobody knew of, including myself. They came on the market on the scene at CES when they've announced their pretty impressive, innovative all-electric SUV, and since then, I think they've done almost everything right as far as what a new startup, car startup, can do to not only survive but really compete in the future. Now, once again, I saw them at the LA Auto Show and I interviewed their CEO Carsten, which this is my third time. I usually have a pretty good time doing that. He's pretty honest with me and you guys as my audience. So let's talk about it and let's talk to him. All of this is coming up next. Taking over the world, electrifying the world, Welcome to E4 Electric, your number one source of unbiased electric car news. If this is your first time here, go ahead and click on the subscribe button down there so you don't miss anything moving forward, including how I sound when I don't have a cold. That's kind of a bit of a perk. So go ahead and click on that subscribe button. So let's talk about Byton, right? They came on the market at CES. They had the prototype. It's amazing. It has this, beautiful, wide wall-to-wall screen, 45,000 price tag. Pretty impressive range. People say, okay, that's pretty cool, and but where's the money? Where's the factory? And then they, during I believe in June, they got the money. They got $500 million, including from Cattle, CATL, the company is, also a battery provider for them. And they also started to build a factory. And this is, part of the facility that's already built up in Nanjing. I visited there, and here's a picture that I took as we were driving around this massive piece of land, humongous, where they pretty much in the middle of building it out right now, as you know from my stories about Byton and China, that things happen there pretty quick. And then people are like, okay, well, that's good. Now they have money in the factory coming on, but there's just one car, right? Well, they now have two cars. So now it's not just one product, it's a company, right? Because now two products, and this is the unveiling of the M-Byte in Nanjing. That's where I went to witness this. And, it's pretty impressive for a company that's been just, known for less than a year. I caught up with them in the LA Auto Show, and it looks like everything's going according to plan. And Carsten, the CEO of the company, actually told me something I didn't really know. You probably see me kind of stutter for a second. I didn't realize that, their prototypes are actually driving around in China right now testing. I didn't know about that development. So it looks like everything's going according to the plan. And so let's talk to Carsten and see what's going on with them. Before that, of course, I just want to mention that this show and this channel is sponsored by Evanex, the aftermarket accessories for Tesla. Maybe one day they'll be making it for Byton as well. But for now, there is a discount code in the description of this video, so you can go ahead and grab it, save some money during the holiday season. But at this point, let's talk to Carsten and see what's going on with Byton. Here's my interview with him at the LA Auto Show last week.
Last time we talked was in Shanghai in June. How things are going? How's the feedback? Because now you guys got a few other competitors that came out with their versions and stuff like that. How do you feel like you're doing even among all of the newcomers as well?
Yeah, so I think we are doing quite well, and we get very amazing and good feedback from all the parties, from potential customers, from investors, from the media. And the reason is that people feel that all the things you need to be a successful company are coming together at Byton. It's about the product, the M-Byte, and the latest product here, our K-Byte. People love it and think it's really the way to go to the market and create this kind of smart cars. But it's not only the product, it's people believe in our industrialization capabilities. We are building our plant, the plant is on track, edification is nearly done. We have prototypes on the street now. We are building the brand.
Wait, did you say you have prototypes on the street?
Yes, so we have around 30 prototypes on the street driving already. It will come close to 100 by end of the year.
Where?
In Nanjing, so in China. So
I did not know that. That is very cool.
Yes. No, it's car development goes in a way. You first build your first batch of prototype. We call them application prototypes. So use them to develop technology. and then this is done right now. And then the next stage will be the so-called validation prototype. So you build prototypes again, but in theory they are ready already. You drive them to validate that you are done. You do all the homologation tests, and then you start production in the plant to train the process. And our validation prototypes will be on the street beginning of next year, and from April we will train the process to go to the market end of next year.
I guess that makes sense. I kind of knew how it works. I just didn't know you guys were that far along. Okay, wow, that's a surprise. Okay, so because last time we were talking, you were crashing those prototypes. Now they're driving around. Okay, now you mentioned the factory, right? And I think the biggest thing that distinguishes the startups nowadays, you know, whether they're ready to play with the big boys, is whether or not they have a factory. I saw your factory building up, you know, in June. How's the progress? Are you happy with the progress? How's it going?
Yeah, definitely. So one of the amazing things in China is that things are moving very fast. Yeah, I never saw it in any other part of the world, not even in California and Silicon Valley, that things are moving so fast. So we started, groundbreaking was last year in September. So it's a bit more than 1 year now, and the edification and the whole infrastructure is nearly completed now. In some weeks from now, it will be completely done. We started to install the machinery and the equipment now, and again, the product will start to be built in April out of the production process. Our trial shop, so prototype production is already ready. So it's completely done, and we build prototypes every day out of this production line.
Okay, well that's exciting. Now let's talk about, I mean, we're at the end of this year, and it's been a huge year for you guys because nobody really knew who you were this time last year, right? Now you're on every show I go, I bump you guys. Every time I walk into any building, it's Byton. Okay, so what can we expect next year? How are you guys going to do? Outdo yourselves next year?
Yeah, so we did the, let's say, the very exciting and emotional part this year, presenting the product, how the product will be. So now we have to deliver it. And the next year will be all about delivery. So we will start at CES again. You will not see too many new fancy things at CES, but the message will be we are on track. So you will see first production interiors of the production car and so on. And then again, the validation prototypes will be on the street. We might even be able to show them to you. You might be some driving events to get some confidence about it. And it will all be about delivering and execution and make it ready to sell by end of the year. And we will start then an order process so you really can order the cars in the second half of next year. One of the big milestones in January will be the officially opening of our brand store in Shanghai. So we will have a celebration there because it's not only delivering the cars, we have to sell all those cars as well, and you will find a very exciting approach in our brand store.
Well, so let's talk a little bit about well, let's back up a little bit. Remind my audience, when can we expect the M-Byte and then K-Byte to hit the market, and which markets are being hit first, and then how are you going to be rolling it out, you know, worldwide?
So the M-Byte will go to production end of next year out of the Nanjing plant for the Chinese market first. So we will deliver in China end of 19. We will come to the United States, which will be mainly California in the beginning, mid of 2020, and to Europe in the second half of 2020.
So I'm getting mine in 2020. Got it. That's all I wanted to know, really. All right. So listen, thanks once again hanging out with me. It's exciting to see you guys every time there's something new and exciting. I really can't wait. How are you guys going to outdo yourselves next year? Because this is pretty big. You know, I guess maybe one more question. You had, I mean, I know it's a big year. 2 cars you guys unveiled. What would be the 3rd car? Have you guys even started thinking about that?
Yes, so you might see something during the next year as well. For the 3rd car, we are thinking about a 7-seater concept, which is very much built for shared mobility purposes as well. So I don't want to disclose all the details here, but you might think about very easy ingress and egress and very spacey and variable, a high level of variability inside them.
Are you guys thinking about more like, you know, fully autonomous driving where it's becoming basically a minibus, or are you still kind of going to be going along with a traditional, let's have a steering wheel and stuff like that, or maybe something in between?
So the first generation of this platform is designed for both usages. It's a hybrid in this aspect, so people will buy it and drive it by themselves. People will buy it and put it in autonomous mode when available, and we will be able to operate it in fleets for shared mobility. The second generation, the second platform we are working at, by the way, in our Future Lab in Los Angeles here, we have a Future Lab here, is a purpose-built architecture for shared mobility. So if you think about the fact that most of the rides is only one person in the car, it does not make sense to use a 5-seater car for shared mobility services. So we are thinking about concept where you can put a driver in or a computer, and then there's space for one only passenger, or maybe for two if you change the layout a bit, 1 to 2, but then a very premium experience like first class seats in airplanes and an exciting and amazing digital experience.
All right, well, it's always fun to talk to Carsten. I have to say, out of all executives that I, am lucky enough to interview, he is probably one of my favorite. I mean, this is his third time on the show, and I like that he's transparent. I always ask them, hey guys, I have a tough question. Would you mind answering it or whatever? They're always like, listen, ask away. I know there's some issues that we need to address still, but go ahead and ask, and I'll definitely make sure to answer. So if you have questions for Carsten about Byton and stuff like that, I know I will see them at CES, so maybe we can crowdsource the next set of questions for him. So go ahead and put them in the comment section of this video so we can do it together. All right? Other than that, I will see you guys next time. And remember to stay charged.